The Sevenate, c'est un groupe de diamond rock, c'est-à-dire a diamond is hard and it's shiny and it's eternal, and our music is hard rock and it's shiny and beautiful, and it's I think that would be a good description of our music, and that's about it. I don't know. It's Sevenate started in 2005 in Toronto. We did. We went in studio to record a movie soundtrack, a movie that I was producing called ATR, Allergic to Reality. That went into production, and so we recorded that. We recorded a first album. We recorded an EP. We recorded a compilation from LA, from Los Angeles, called Glam Nation 2. That's it. And in 2012-13, we released our full album called Revolve, which was our second album. And then I was about to go on tour, and I came to Paris on vacation and fell in love. So I decided to move to Paris. And about a year ago, I missed playing rock and roll, so I got a new drummer. A fantastic guy called Frank Schack. He's a drummer from Paris. I guess his drumming style would be like Stuart Copeland of the Police. He sounds a lot like Stuart Copeland in my opinion, but he's got his own style. We have a fabulous guitar player called Gilles Arnaud. Couldn't tell you tons about it. You just have to see him to believe him. He's just fabulous. And we have a bass player. Her name's Elo for now, and she's a fantastic bass player. And that's it. We're just a 4-piece for the moment. We might grow into a 5-piece at some point. We might add some keyboards and backup vocals. We'll see. That's still in construction. Charles Aznavour just died, and he wrote very eloquently about Montmartre. Montmartre en ce temps-là. And voilà. My father was a singer from Quebec, and he was on the same label as Charles Aznavour on Barclay Records. His name was Jacques Antonin. That's his artist name. So he's quite aggrieved because he loved Charles quite a lot. I loved Charles quite a lot. I saw him live in 2014 in Toronto. He was incredible. Still a great master, a fabulous artist. And you wanted to know about Montmartre, my ties to Montmartre. I love Montmartre. I've busked in Montmartre. I've played in cafes in Montmartre. One of my friends lives, it's not Montmartre, it's Pigalle, it's close enough though. My friend, he was a childhood friend. I used to live in Paris when I was a teenager, and I went to school here for 5 years at l'École des Enfants du Spectacle. Mm-hmm. And around then, anyways, when I was must have been 15 years old, when I started my first band that was called Lark, L-A-R-K, Lark, and the guitar player in Lark was Yarol Poupeau, who later became the guitar player for Johnny Hallyday, and he's got a band called Yarol Poupeau and Black Minou, and his band is called Black Minou. They're quite cool. They're really great.
Et on va passer à une question en français.
Oui,
quels sont, selon toi, les excès de la gloire quand on est un groupe de rock?
Je les ai très connus, les excès de la gloire. Sorry, I'm looking for my words in in French. I used to be known as Chris Lee in the 90s, in the 80s, 90s. I was known as Chris Lee, and I was in a rock band called Insane, my first rock band, Insane from Montreal. Played the Spectrum, released an album which it just was re-released as a 30th anniversary edition. It's a fabulous thing to still be around after so many years. And then I was in the 90s, I was in a goth industrial band, vampire band called Talamasca. And back then I used to use cocaine to the point I used to inject cocaine. I was very, very badly into drugs, very depressed. Life was very hard for me. It helped me as an artist. I wrote some of my best songs on drugs, I have to say. So it can help with inspiration. But it's very destructive. You end up wanting to die. As a matter of fact, in December 9th, 1997, I tried to kill myself with an overdose. The fireman just, broke down the door, revived me in the ambulance. But my girlfriend at the time was on the phone with Ophelia, my guitar player in Talamasca, and told her, that I was dead, that I wasn't breathing. They were trying to revive me, and she never got any more news. I was locked up in psychiatry without my clothes or anything, because to protect myself from myself. And while I was in a hospital, the news of my death were declared all over the news in Montreal, front page of the newspapers. I was receiving the papers over there and was reading about eulogies about my death. And after that, I moved to Toronto. I went to therapy, worked very hard to stop using drugs. And for me, Chris Lee died for real. He's really dead. And that's why when I really questioned who I really was, and I said, okay, so who am I really? And I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Christianity. So I wanted to change my name and to something that was closer to me. So I changed my name to Eloha, which means, it's a Hebrew word, and it means the one who came from the sky. Because I guess I'm an angel.
Et est-ce que vous avez obtenu des récompenses en tant que groupe?
In 1996, Talamasca was the #1 goth industrial group in Canada. There was no competition. It's pretty simple. When Talamasca started, there was one band that had been around in Montreal for years called Santeria. They had been around for 8 years, 9 years, and after 1 year of the existence of my band, they were opening for us. They were quite frustrated with that. But it's just a way that things happened. We ended up having a bigger show and drawing more people. So we became the headliner very quick.
Et aujourd'hui, qu'est-ce que tu deviens? Qu'est-ce que tu fais dans ta vie pour vivre? Tu travailles?
Non, je ne travaille pas autrement que dans la musique, et j'écris. Donc je reçois encore des sous de droits d'auteur du passé, et je continue ma carrière. Là, on vient de sortir, comme je t'ai expliqué, la version 30e anniversaire de mon premier album. On est en pré-production en ce moment avec The Sevenate pour faire un second album, Sevenate Paris, c'est-à-dire la deuxième version de The Sevenate. C'est bientôt, là, on est en préparation de tout ça. Donc, j'ai bien hâte que tout le monde entende la nouvelle version.
Bah, ça. Quel conseil tu donnerais à un jeune musicien qui veut se lancer dans la musique aujourd'hui? Toi qui as l'expérience...
Don't do it. No. If you only do it if you really, really need to do it. If you can't live without it. If you can't live without it, don't do it, because it's a very hard job. Number one. Number two, take the time. Don't be rushed. Your first songs are never great. They're going to be great when you've written 15, 20, 30 songs. Then you start really knowing what you're doing with songs. Your first songs are, you have to be very critical of yourself. Take a step back and say, is this really new, really original, really unique, really good, Don't compromise. If you record something, don't record it cheap. Don't record it. If you hear violins in your head, get real violins, because you're going to live with that recording for the rest of your life. So get the sound that you want, the guitar that you want, get the instruments you want on it, and make sure that you do it perfectly, because you're going to live with that recording for the rest of your life. So that's what I would recommend. And then know that it's not just playing music and rock and roll. It's a lot more about communication, about telling people that you exist. You can be the best band in the world. If nobody knows that you exist, there you go. Useless.
Thank you so much.